welcome to the Racekraft S5000 E-Series Round 3 tonight, live from the Redbull ring. We've just seen the F1 do this course justice tonight. We are heading around for this S5000 official 2023 E-Series. Welcome to the commentary tonight. Dave Roberts joining me. I'm Luke. This is on Racekraft TV as we look at the flyover from this beautiful race circuit, and as we bring in some live pictures from the track, we're also going to go through the championship points, Dave, and it's an enthralling championship we're going on here. 40 drivers doing justice to it, with Tim Delisle sitting on top on 160 points.
Yeah, good evening, Luke. Great to be back with the S5000s. I love these things. They sound so good. They're so damn fast. And it'll be great to see the boys emulate the F1 on the weekend. At the moment, there's about 15 points difference, which is nothing when you get 160 points over 2 rounds. So very little in it. And at the moment, I see Damon Woods, who's third on the championship standings, is quickest in qualifying, with Julian Dunn second and Tim Delisle third. So the class of the field has risen to the top.
Yeah, and they'll be doing battle tonight. There's still a lot of drivers down the bottom of this championship yet to score a point, so I'm sure they've set themselves that little goal for tonight. But we'll have a quick look at the timing screen as we hit the final minute or so of qualifying here for this first sprint race. And as you said, Damon Woods on top, Julian Dunn close behind Tim Delisle there. We're just seeing Chris Ireland still out on the track in the 2:33 car, trying to set his fast time. One of the simrigs.com DPR entries coming through these final couple of corners. Track limits tonight, will they be in effect like they were in the F1?
I'm not going there. But we're going to let iRacing look after the track limits.
Yeah.
And we're not going to make comments. So if they go wide and they get a slowdown from iRacing, they've exceeded the track limits. Don't you wish F1 had that?
Yeah, for sure. It was an interesting race the other night, that's for sure.
F1 was a pretty good race in general, but I got up early Monday morning and watched a certain SVG go and annihilate the NASCAR boys, and boy, oh boy, was that a fantastic start to the week. Yeah,
what a performance, and doing New Zealand proud, and obviously Australasia as well. Fantastic drive. And as we just look at that Marcus Knitska delivery, looking beautiful out there, but 32nd on the grid. Well off the pace to 1.7 seconds, covering the top 32. Well, look at the top 10 though, half a second in it, pretty close.
Yeah, there's 3 tenths or 4 tenths over the top 10. That's not very much difference. So 4 tenths about the width of Max Verstappen's wallet, I think.
Yeah, it'd be a pretty thick wallet. Let's go to the grid for race number 1. And this is how they will start. Damon Woods will start for the Door Esports entry on P1. Alongside him, Julian Dunn, Altus Esports, and then on the second row, Tim Delisle and Shane Russell. Good to see Shane. Another good performance up there in 4th place. Bailey Evans on the third row with Wayne Burke. Then it's Josh Stewart, Andre Yusuf starting from P8. Damon Edmonds will start from 9th place down on the 5th row, with Greg Olsen rounding out that top 10. Daniel Harris, P11. Caleb Hyde's up there in 12th this week. He'll want to try and move forward from there off the start of the grid and see if he can get further up, and plenty of other drivers populating the order there as we look down further. Who have you come to see? Who are you in the chat and following along in this series? Hopefully you can see their name up there in the top 20, and they're going to have a good race tonight. Cheer them on, make some comments, make some noise, and you know, if it's a boring race, which I don't think it will be, Dave, we'll show those people that get featured in the chat a little bit more and keep you up to date where they're at.
We've got a few new joiners too. Luke Hayden, Trent Gosley, and a third one who name escapes me. But we've got a couple of new people joined the series, so we've had a couple of dropouts, and it'd be good to see how they go. And I was looking there, back in I think 6th place is the last round winner, which was Wayne Burke, who did a fabulous job at Hockenheim. Let's see if he can get the strategy right again tonight.
Yeah, just waiting on Daniel Harris to join the grid. Everyone else sitting there waiting. Lockie Capel in the safety car at the back of the grid, getting ready to pick up any pieces if we have a first lap, opening lap incident, which can happen here at the Redbull ring. Turn 1, obviously a concertina effect, a tight squeeze, and then it opens out and heads down towards that fantastic turn 3. We sweep through 2 into 3 in that big braking zone where you see all sorts of things happen in MotoGP and also F1. What will happen tonight? Will Julian Dunn of P2 get a good rundown? Remembering you do start on the outside in P1 here.
And we haven't got to the bottom of this spinning wheels on the start line yet, Luke, but we'll see how the starts go, because
here we go.
Woods has been struggling a little. He's got a...
Oh, Dunn went backwards. He's had a shocker. Someone's on the grass trying to get out of the way, but Dunn lit the tyres up, and he's gone absolutely nowhere here on lap 1, unfortunately, as we see the long shot. Woods gets away beautifully. Look at Evans and Delisle in P2 and 3. They're really putting the pressure on, and it's Bailey Evans almost glued to the back of that gearbox on Tim Delisle, and has a look down the inside into 3.
Bailey Evans has been extremely quick here in testing. In practice last night, he's fastest of all and very, very consistent with his lap times and super quick. So I'm expecting to see Bailey really take it to Tim here in second, but Damon's just jumped out of the gate like a bullet from a gun. He's gone.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Josh Olsen, I just saw... Greg Olsen popped up a place. He made a good start. Josh Stewart is already up 3 positions on the opening lap. Fantastic getaway. But Damon Woods, as you said, out in front, doing what he does best, qualifying well, and then trying to break away from the pack on this opening lap of the race. So a short sprint race here, 15 minutes on the clock. Ignore the 15 laps, although we'll get close to actually getting the 15 laps in tonight.
Yeah, Julian Dunn's really probably had the pace of the field here in S5000, always been just about the quickest guy on the road, but he's gone backwards. He's dropped 5 positions off the start line, so there he is on screen now, and it looks like Wayne Burke, I'm guessing, got a slowdown in that last corner because he's had to back off and drop back to 7th himself, so that's brought Dunn up to 6th. Shane Russell's dropped 1, and Josh Stewart's up 3, so Josh had made a fantastic start, and that looked to me like Ben Holko having a big issue in turn 1 there as well.
It was. He dropped backwards. Mabry's looking fantastic. 17th place now for him, up a couple of positions as they continue to fight around that 2nd and 3rd place. We might jump on board with Stewart here. I think he's just gone past Bailey Evans, who's dropping backwards. Is this another slowdown? Bailey Evans has just dropped a couple of positions there. Now he's under attack from Wayne Burke and Julian Dunn. Julian Dunn sneaks one on Wayne Burke, who was napping there onto the apex of turn 4, and he's almost got through, has he? He has.
Don't you wish F1 had these slowdowns so it's immediately dealt with rather than sort of 2 days later as they do at the moment? I did notice they did some very, very late penalties for F1 because they had over 200 incidents to go through, and I thought they need Ruin the Boys, because Ruin the Boys do that every night.
That's right, yeah. Oh boy, it was chaotic. This is pretty chaotic. We just saw Julian Dunn fighting back around the outside. Now I think Berkey might have a slowdown there. Look at him out of the throttle, and he'll lose the place as well, will he?
No, he got a good run, and he's pulled out. He thought the guy in front was going to get a slowdown. So this is really good.
Shane Russell went backwards off the start too. He's back in now 10th place and under attack. A swarm of cars here as we head down towards 3 again. You can just see Eustace in there as well. Daniel Harris just behind in the bright yellow car, is it, for Harris? I think it is. And then you've got Caleb Hydes there. Looks great, doesn't it?
The Lion King livery, I call it.
Hydes looks great as well in the nice
now,
pink and white.
Of interest there too, Luke, is that Rob Bowden was... Oh, safety car. Rob Bowden was extremely quick in practice, and something happened in qualifying. He's qualified back in 30th position, but he's already up to P17 and made 13 places in the first lap and a half.
Wow, that's a great run, isn't it? So yeah, he's 17th. He's got some other movers and shakers around him too. Damien Cairns up 18th place now, up 9 positions, and Marcus Kaniska from the back now up into 20th. That's the stricken car. Miguel Crespo, unfortunately, is stuck against the railing there. We'll see if we can work out what's happened to him in all that, but that's what's brought out our safety car.
Maybe we could ask the director to give us a replay, Luke.
He's trying to find it, I can tell you right now. I'll give you the tip. He's scrolling up and up and up, and I think I've found it now, so we'll have a quick look.
Beautiful.
If this is it. I had to go back a long way, so this is lap 2. And what happens here to Miguel? We just have a quick look. Beautiful livery on this car as well. Sweeps down in the middle. Oh, there was another crash in front of him. Does he? Oh, big contact.
That's a huge one.
With one of the Simrigs cars. That's what's put him out of action.
Ouch.
So we might try and get it on board. I think he may have just run into someone else's incident here. This will tell the story.
That was ouch. That hurt.
Yeah, so watch this. You'll see the tyre smoke up ahead. Someone lost the rear end And then he's going to... Oh, two drivers lost the rear end, and then...
Oh, and he just clipped that wheel.
Yeah, this was it Bradford? I think one of them. Let's have a look at another replay with Nick Bradford being the focus of this one. And what happens to Bradford? Does he also get tangled in the same incident? He got a touch, and then he went around.
He's got touched behind, and then that car's got hit by the car behind it. So there's cars going everywhere there.
Yeah,
Luke.
Will Ryan was the other one, so just watch this.
Will Ryan, the boys will be busy in the...
It was Will.
Oh,
yeah, Will made the contact.
Will.
And unfortunately, I think it was a glass pull that went straight into the back of him. He's on board with Jimmy. And watch this. He sees the contact, nowhere to go. Can't back out.
You do.
And there goes Crespo, collects him on the way through. And that's why we're under a full course caution. So big incident here on lap 2. And the field will compress, much to Damien Woods' disgust, I'm sure. And he'll have to do it all again.
And there's Lachlan in that beautiful safety car.
Yeah.
That Aston Martin looks so good at front of the field there. And Lachlan, very, very, very good little steerer. Lachlan is. He won the last round of the Speed Series in the GT3s. I mean, we've got a guy in the safety car that's as fast as anyone on the field. So that's pretty cool, isn't it?
Very cool. Just looking at Greg Olson, I touched on earlier. He's now up into 6th. So he has continued to progress forward. A couple of comments coming through. Sure says, any Kittens racing teams in here tonight? I think we should have some kitties out there. Or not?
Look for them in the litter, mate.
I'm just going to turn on the names now for the team names, because it's going to be the quickest option for doing it.
The sand traps, or gravel traps as they're called these days, the colloquial name for them is kitty litter, so we might look for them out there.
Righto, so we've got plenty of sim rigs cars up there, of course, and I'm not sure we've got any kitties tonight. I've just looked right down the whole order.
I don't think so. Yeah. I don't think we have kitties in the S5000s, do we?
No, we've got Door Esport leading the race, Positive Sim Racing P2, Downforce.
We have a lion in the yellow one.
Yeah. Downforce Racing P3 and Altus Esports, of course, a name we all know through sim racing. Very famous team name there, sitting in P4.
Yeah, so the other guy who was very, very quick in practices this evening prior to the race was Yusuf, who's sitting there in 9th place at the moment. So I'm looking for a really good run from him tonight.
Good shot here overhead. You can just see the field compressed. And hopefully we'll go green at the end of this one. It is a short race. We're halfway through it already, 7 minutes to go.
Yeah, Ruse just messaged the field that the safety car is coming in this lap. So Lachlan will take off probably when he gets down out of turn 4, turn 5. And
run like you can. Run like the wind.
I've got to say, I do love Damon Wood's livery. That blue and black is such a standout and is striking, different to anything else in the field. It's really, really nice to look at. And I think that's the Door Motorsport, which is the German team that he is a part of. That's their livery. So they must be pretty pleased with Damon's performance here in the first few rounds of the S5000.
Yeah, he's really shone. I mean, he does in everything that he drives. That's the thing. If you see Damon Woods in the list when you start up a broadcast like this, you know he's going to be up at pointy end.
Yeah, and I think I know he drives a bit of GT as well, but I think he's got a bit of a love of the open wheeler since he drives a Formula Ford in real life as well. So we do love the true racing car being an open wheeler.
Yeah, and Tim Delisle right on his clacker as he gets going again. So there's the green light.
We're off.
And we're racing. Lap 5, about to start lap 6. Rob Bowden up into 15th now, moving forward. Very wide there for Dunn on the start there is Daniel Harris. We've got a spinner. It's Edmonds who's gone around and he's sitting right in the middle of the track, or is it Caleb Hydes? Right in the middle of the track, and secondary incident here. Another huge crash at the back of the field. You could just tell Hydes was stricken in the middle of the racetrack there, and he got absolutely clobbered. So we could go to another caution here. We'll wait and hear from race control.
It's a sprint race, not a sprint park.
We look out the back from Tim Delisle, P2. Stewart on his tail, then Julian Dunn. Someone else falling down the order is Craig Anspatch.
Rob Bowden on the move again. He's up to 17 spots now, into 13th place, and he's attacking again in front. So he's right on the back there of the green car of Shane Russell. So down the inside goes Rob Bowden. Can he pull another one off? And I think he's got another one, and we've got the safety car out again.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, so full course caution on, 4 minutes to go, 4.5 minutes to go. Huge crash. We'll have a look at some replays on that restart.
I'll try and pull that in a lap.
Yeah. So we'll try and quickly cover a couple of replays before we go back to green, but I've got to once again flick back a long way to find where Caleb hides.
These cars are a bit awkward or a bit dangerous really when you do a restart, because you lose a little bit of temperature out of the tyres, and they're just so easy to put them around sideways, and as happened there. There were two off there in that. Oh, and he's just sitting there waiting to be hit. Whew.
Just trying to get a bit of an overhead shot of, did he lose that by himself? He clipped the car in front possibly. Here he goes, he tightens right up on the, there, he just clipped the car in front.
There's one on the outside there, which is,
he was a bit focused on that probably. He may be a little
sitting
bit
still, nothing he can do. He did exactly the right thing, put the brakes on, and just sat still and crossed his fingers. There's a bit of chatter on the voice chat with the drivers, and I think it's something to do with the restart. I'm not quite sure. I can't hear it, but there's a little bit going on. But race control will take. Oh, you can see Nick Bottrell's there, jumped on the brakes to try and avoid that, and actually locked the car up and cleaned him up. So unfortunate.
He snatched the rear brakes. Now, where is the safety car in all this? I'm just trying to pick him up. He's back in the pits. We've gone back to green, have we?
I don't know what we've done.
Well, safety car's in the pit lane and did come out, and safety car was called.
Because I heard Tim Delisle saying you can't do that, so I don't know what it is that you can't do, but it looks like something's gone a bit awry here.
Yeah, well, our safety car is sitting in the pit lane, so beats me. As far as I can tell, we are back full green racing here, and Damien Woods has checked out and said, see you later.
Got me. I have no idea what happened there. I can't even imagine. It looked like almost like they called the safety car and then cancelled it after the car got on track, which is really not the way to go racing. But look, there's another incident up into turn one, right in front of Rob Bowden, so that'll probably be another couple of places. Yep, Rob's up 20 places and into 10th place. Brilliant drive by Rob Bowden tonight. Yeah,
Julian Dunn's got back into P2 as well. He's under some pressure here from Wayne Burke, who's been on fire of late. Burke and then Tim Delisle back into 4th place.
Yeah,
Damon Woods is gone though, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think Tim's a little disappointed in this because I can hear a bit of chatter. But to be honest, Tim, you're still in 4th place. It's only a sprint race, mate. You got plenty of pace. Take it to the main event, and I think he's pretty smart when it comes to pit stops and pit strategies. Mind you, so is Wayne Burke and the other guys. But there's plenty of laps left to get back to where he was. But I'd like to know a little more about what happened there.
Yeah, we're just watching Jansen further back with Phil Vella on his tail coming through the final couple of corners. We're only going to get another 2 or so laps in. Spinner as we were on board.
He's lost it.
That's so.
Phil's beautiful avoidance there.
Yeah,
4 wheels on the grass and pulled it together. So it's very, very easy to lose these cars. And the thing is, the guys, because it's a fairly quick track, I think they're running pretty low on the downforce, Luke, and that makes the cars pretty loose in the corners. So they're trying to get away with as little wing as they can, just like they do in the real world, to get that straight line speed, so they can be aggressive and make overtakes in a straight line. It's a lot easier than in a corner. So they're certainly running low downforce, but it's catching a few of them out by the looks of it.
It seems to be when they get onto that, they get over the AstroTurf and onto that red stuff, it really becomes very slippery.
Yes, it certainly does, and we've seen, for a sprint race, we've seen quite a few cars going backwards instead of forwards.
Oh, 3 wide, contact.
Yeah, that's not looking good. No, that was always going to happen, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Bradford got punted off to the outside, so it's a bit scrappy.
Luckily, it is a bit scrappy.
So we're just watching another 1:16.7 for the race leader with 1 lap to go now, so he gets the white flag.
He really is on fire tonight. So, I love to see this. A guy who goes motor racing in the real world being this quick in a sim car as well. I love to see that. It just says to me this guy's got a lot of motor racing future ahead of him. Hopefully it has. Love to see him step up to something beyond a Formula Ford, because he's certainly showing he can drive a quick car.
Yeah, and he's obviously not sick of racing, because he does it every night of the week in the sim as well. So further back, this battle's still raging between Sam Badai, Jansen, Gosley's not too far behind. In the background you can see another 2x2 battle with Will Ryan and Daniel Edmonds, I think it is. And but this lap's almost over, which means this race is almost over for Damon Woods. We'll show him as he comes down through the final part of the circuit, and this has been a dominant performance here. 2.3 seconds into the last couple of corners here out in front, and he will take the checkered flag to win Heat 1 tonight, the first sprint race. We've still got a long one to go, but an interesting one. We'll try and get some clarification on what happened there from race control with that safety car. Miscalled safety car possibly. P2 goes to Julian Dunn. Good fight back after what was a shocking start. We'll see if I can't get you a quick replay of the start now. We'll go right back to the beginning as Wayne Burke gets P3, but just watch Dunn off the start here. P2, you're going to see him go absolutely nowhere, and hopefully we get to see this before iRacing advances to the next session. So he lit the tyres up.
Lit them up, lost traction, no forward momentum, and everybody's gone past him, and we see that in the real world. So it's good to see that the start isn't a manufactured thing that's sort of infallible. There's a bit of art and craft in that getting it off the line, which is really, really good to see. So we'll see if Damien can get it off. See if Julian can get it off the line in the feature now.
Yeah, so that's race 1 run and done. Damon Woods, your winner. We'll get the results up on the screen shortly, and then we'll get set for the second race tonight. Mistimed safety car. I'm seeing a few comments in the chat about that, and it can be quite difficult. Did race control see that there wasn't long enough to go in the race and withdraw that safety car?
I don't know. If you have a chat to the winner, I might go and see if I can find out.
Right, well, we'll get the winner in here shortly for a quick chat. And I'm also going to turn my heater off because it is heating up in this studio after 15 minutes of racing.
You're just getting excited, Luke.
It takes a lot to get me excited these days. Dave's going to go and find some answers from race control, and we'll be back with you shortly for race number 2. Grab Damon Woods in for a quick chat. Damon, how was it, mate? Interesting race, that one. A quick 15-minute sprint, but you had the goods by the end of it.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised by how that second safety car went. It wasn't actually a safety car in the end, so I think I got lucky that I was able to go when it got called that there was no safety car. But yeah, I think Tim got caught out by it pretty badly and dropped from 2nd to 4th, which is quite unfortunate. But points-wise, that's good for me.
There would have been a bit of radio chatter, and actually Dave's here to clarify what actually happened.
Yeah, I just spoke to the boys. Apparently what happened was in the heat of the excitement, Roo called a safety car for that incident, not realising it was within 5 seconds of the finish. And within 5 minutes of the finish, it is a blanket tow, so that he actually couldn't call a safety car, so he withdrew the safety car. Unfortunately, Tim's been penalised by that. They will look at that, but that's what happened. But I've got to say, I'm going to make a comment here. Do you know how much Damon Woods, I know you're still here, do you know how much you sound like Oscar Piastri?
Well, if that's the case, then hopefully I also get an F1 seat like him.
Yeah, you do. You sound very, very similar, and you have some very, very interesting sort of little speech bits that sound very much like talking to Oscar. Anyway, there we go.
Well, hopefully McLaren pick me up then.
Nice. Who would you want to thank for race 1 victory there, Damon?
First of all, I'd just like to thank eSports, VRS, Recaro Seats, Tailored Rig, and finally SX Group.
Good on you, mate. Good luck in race 2, starting in about 2 minutes' time.
Thank you very
Congrats
much.
for race 1. Cheers.
So yeah, a bit of an interesting one for race control. Obviously, it was right on the line. I think of that 5 minutes, it was a line decision, and I wonder if in that circumstance, when you call a safety car but withdraw it, whether or not some sort of virtual safety car for half a lap would have been a better option.
I have no idea.
We sort of missed it, didn't we? Because we started looking for replays of the incident, and when we went back
And
from the
next thing
replay,
I
it
know,
was
green.
it was
We didn't
green.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I do apologise to anyone watching and going, "What the hell's just happened there?"
Because we don't always hear. We have a very, very quiet version of race control in one of our ears that we can't really hear when there's a lot of cars on track and we're commentating. But obviously, look, both you and I missed that back to green. But I did hear, the only thing I heard was Tim was pretty upset because I think he dropped from second to fourth because of that. So look.
Yeah, I think.
Who knows?
I think we should have race control loud in our ears, and I'm happy to turn it back on. We had it on there for a while. The biggest problem with having race control turned up nice and loud is if when a driver has a meltdown or an atomic
They do.
reaction to a decision, we also hear that on the broadcast, and my bleeper can't be quick enough sometimes to bleep it all out.
I can't. I'm serious though. I can't believe how much David Wood sounds like Oscar Piastri. It's really similar.
Show him the money.
Yeah, that's an awesome thing. Oscar had an awful drive here on the weekend, so he's looking forward to some upgrades.
Yeah.
But, he's an iRacer. I've been in a couple of sessions with Oscar. I've had quite a good chat to him online. So that's the beauty of iRacing and things you can do. And what other sport can you do that go and, play a virtual edition and actually talk to your heroes? I think that's fantastic.
It's pretty mega. What do you think about Daniel Ricciardo back in F1 soon?
The rumour I hear quietly is that it very much depends on this test after the British Grand Prix, the 3-day test that he's doing. They're not giving 3 days in the cars just to go and develop the car. They're actually really trying to quantify just where Daniel's at post McLaren. If he's quick, I think you'll see him replace Checo because Max don't like Checo, and Checo doesn't seem to get on with the team, and it's not anything other than just different personalities.
There you go. Let's go to the grid for race number 2 tonight, as we've had a request for the radio to be put back on, lads. We are not easily offended. We'll try and get it on for the next race of this Racecraft S5000 series. Damon Wood starts from pole in race number 2. Alongside him, Julian Dunn. Will he spin the wheels again? Will he get away? Wayne Burke out of 3 with Tim Delisle starting out of P4. It's Greg Olsen, who was a big mover in race 1, up in P5 now with Bailey Evans starting alongside him. The 4th row of the grid, Andre Youssef and Josh Stewart, who also moved well through the race there. P8, he'll be his starting position for race 2. Daniel Harris, Rob Bowden round out your 10. Bowden, another great drive in race 1. Vella and Collins round out that 6th row of the grid. And as we just pan back through the rest of the grid there, you can see your favourite drivers getting set to do battle for this longer now, part 2 of the evening. And, it should be pretty exciting.
Yeah, I've got to say, Daniel Harris doing very, very well there. P9. I know he was running around today trying to get a card for his mobile so that he can get some internet connection. So
Green light, we're off and racing. Good start this time by Dunn. He actually got the jump. I think there's a crash right at the back of the field, but Dunn is going to go through in P1 out in front. Fantastic getaway. So he's everything he did wrong in race 1, he got right in race 2. Now Woods comes back at him side by side down towards 4. Great battle going on here between the leaders. In behind them, Delisle and Burke trading positions as well. Evans on the charge, and they get through there 3 or 4 wide. Going through turn 3 now as one of the cars went well off the road, and further back in the field they're still changing positions right back to Mabry there, who's up 5 spots into 20th off the start. Great drive.
I've got to say I'm really, really happy to see Tim Delisle make a really, really good start up to third place and gets a little bit of that time back that he lost through that race control error. So come on, Tim, mate, you deserve another place. So go get Julian there. Give him some curry.
Further back, Bowden finds himself up into P9 now. So Rob on the charge has got Daniel Harris all over his gearbox as well. Behind them, Vela. Damien Cairns now finds himself a bit of a lonesome drive there, but up into P12. So that's great work. Drew Collins and Edmonds fighting behind him, but Cairns, who is relatively new. We had someone fly off the track. Was it Bowden? I think Bowden went out and hit the wall, unfortunately, after all that good work.
I did see him spear off there. All I saw was a trail of smoke where he went off. But Daniel Harris, what a fantastic drive up to P9 with his Lion King liveried S5000 there, and great drive considering he's actually using a phone for his mobile, I think, at the moment or whatever. So yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, as we just see Damien Cairns lose a position there. To Edmonds. There's a crash behind them. Is that? I think there is a bit of a...
Did I see a bit of a biff? Yes, there's a white car coming out. That's Jansen and the white car coming back on, and I thought I saw somebody involved with him. Anyway.
Yeah, we just cut away from Cairns, who was on our camera there for a moment. We've got the...
We'll blame the director. Hey, Luke.
Blame the director. Always blame the director. A couple of the guys from... Nick Petril's there and Scotty Bardian.
Watching Ben Holko there on screen at the moment in his lime green wheeled car. He's having a good little run there. He's in the top 20, so that's nothing to be sneezed at in this sort of competition. And he's having a good little chase there of Ryan right in front.
There it is on screen now. Drive-through penalty there for Scotty Barton for causing an incident on lap 1. Am I saying his name right this week?
Barton, isn't it?
Barton. Damon Woods under some pressure, by the way, at the front of the field.
Yeah, fantastic here. And Tim Delisle there, right, sitting behind them, looking to take advantage of any mistake that happens. So Julian Dunn's in an awkward position here because every time he tries to make a pass on Damon Woods in front, he brings himself into position where he could get beaten from behind. So he's the meat in the sandwich.
Yeah. So 50-minute race. It's a long one. There will be some tiredness that creeps in halfway through this race, and it's late. Most of these drivers, just like us, have worked a full day here, and you got 50 minutes of concentration. I know if I was driving these cars, I reckon after about 10 laps I'd be starting to look at the trees and everything would become a bit blurry, and I'd probably just spear off.
That's funny, Luke. I mean, they do have it. It's amazing how much concentration you find when you're driving a car, even if you're not, your life isn't at risk driving it. But in the sim world, you do really, find that confidence find that ability to really Oh, we've got a safety car again.
Hello.
What have we got a safety car for?
Hello. I was just about to say maybe they're actually all kids and they just stay home all day playing games.
Yeah, possibly. Oh, there we go.
Robbie
That
Griffiths.
looks like Robbie Griffith in the fence.
He's had a big crash there. We'll try and find you a replay. That has speared in big time, and I got a feeling Trent Gosley may have been involved in that too, and also
Pointing the wrong way too.
So here's Griffiths. Was he? So he gets through turn 3. A little bit of contact, and then he gets spun, and surely he gets hit again with that damage. So there's plenty of cars there turning around. What happens after this? He's definitely got a lot more damage than that, right?
Yeah, well, you would think so because he can't move, but he's not. What's going on?
Is there an unsafe rejoin here or something?
Or is the vehicle? Is the vehicle so badly damaged you can't get it back? I think yeah, and that's what's happening. So the car's not drivable. He's got enough damage on it that it's crabbing so badly he really can't get it back to the pits.
And so lucky not to take out a couple of drivers with him there with that little bit of a whoopsie daisy.
Yeah, so what it does again, though, is it closes up the front of the field. So we've got Woods done, Delisle and Olsen there in a really tight pack. And Josh Stewart, don't underestimate Josh Stewart. He was super fast last time out. And I think he can get into this top 4 as well. But I've got my fingers crossed for Tim, because I think Tim deserves a break here. I love to see when karma comes to the surface, and if
I thought you were going to sing a George Michael song there with that karma comes to the circus.
Karma, chameleon. Yeah, don't ask me to sing. You do not want me to sing.
I tell you what, yeah, Tim's sitting in third. He's sitting right back. He has not caught up to the back, or he has now. Now he starts to come up onto the back of Julian Dunn. So is there a little bit of hard feelings there from race 1, do you think, or they're just?
Oh, look, I don't know, but I feel that he copped a little bit of a rough end of the pineapple in the last one, and he deserves a little benefit in this one. So if a break can go his way, I think it would only be fair.
Yeah, the rough end of the pineapple can hurt.
So the safety car's out there now, and we're getting waved by. So that looks like Bowden going through, and I don't know who was in the green car.
Let's look at the gains, Dave. We'll have a quick look on the screen now. You can see 16 for Rogers, back in 17th place. So he's
Holko's up 16 as well.
Yeah.
Jacob Mayberry's up 10. That's a pretty good effort, up into 15th there.
There's Paul Rogers. Whoop, that's not Paul Rogers' picture. There it is.
And Reece Margetts. I mean, Reece was super fast again in practice yesterday. He was second quickest in the field. So Reece has some real pace, and he's back there in 22nd place, having made up 14 spots already. So where did he start? 36th? I mean, I don't know what happened to Reece in the sprint race, but obviously had some real issues. But he was super quick yesterday, and I would see him charging through this field. He might be one to keep an eye on, I think.
Christine Cairns wants us to put up a poll to vote for you to sing. Everyone wants to hear you sing, Dave.
I'm not singing.
I can put on some karaoke and you can have a crack.
No, we're good.
We're all good? We're all good?
We're good.
Okay, well, sorry, Christine, I did try. A couple of people, we'll shout out to a few people over on YouTube as well. We've got Anthony Warthol there that said Crabman strikes again. Tiger Bat is there with us. Nicholas Owen in the house, sure, of course. Hanging around. Billy Punt, hello, welcome tonight. And everyone else that's tuning in, Brant there as well. G'day, welcome, and hope you're enjoying some S5000 action. Safety car ending, about to go back to green and back to the action.
Okay, so I'm just looking at the top 10 there now. Josh Stewart, Wayne Burke, Bailey Evans, Daniel Harris, Phil Vella. Phil's done a good job getting himself up inside the top 10, and Andre Youssef. And as I said, Andre was super quick. So Phil Vella, he's up in 9th place now. Phil's loves this car. He's a bit of a FR 3.5, which is this vehicle. He's a bit of a fan of it, and it's his like his little pet. So great to see Phil up there in the top 10 and doing well, because he's copped a bit of just unfortunate luck so far in the series. I'd love to see Phil get a really good run and get some breaks go his way.
Yeah, no, for sure. Let's have a look at the restart procedure here. What do you think? Julian Dunn shadowing Woods, as you would. The safety car's gotten out of there now. He's heading home. But yeah, look at Julian though. He's really making his intentions known here.
Well, we saw this last night or Sunday night with Max Verstappen leading them back and doing sort of weaves and trying to get away with sort of just a little bit of decoy manoeuvres to hide the fact that he was going to go. So Damon's not doing that. He's sitting dead straight. He's not wiggling and warming the tyres. But I'm expecting him to go at about the apex of this corner or the entry to the next one. So he's gone.
Here he goes. Dunn's gone with him as well.
So Julian's made a really good restart there. He's hung on to the back of him, and he's in that tow. And remember, these guys have eight pushes of the push to pass or the DRS, eight activations of the DRS. So I don't know.
Oh.
Nobody knows how many they got. Oh, that looks like
Cans.
Damien Cairns.
Yeah.
See?
Wow, that's unlucky.
Oh, maybe I should have sung. So Julian tried down the outside of Damon there, but Damon's wise to it, kept the car straight, got a good exit, and I'm sure Julian would have used one of his pushes to pass or one of his DRS activations there in an attempt to have a go at Damon while it was all close after the restart. So what I'm really liking is, come on, Tim, you can do it. He's up onto the back of Julian. You've got a few push to pass in the pocket there. Come on, mate, get up on his tail and use one, because I'd love to see this. Love to see Tim get it back his second place that he had at the start. So you're having a good run down the outside here, and round the outside into turn 9 is just not a place you want to be.
Yeah, mega. And thanks, Andrew, for the tip there. A bit slow tonight. I still had the safety car graphics up. We are definitely green racing. And by the way, Sher said, did you mean Boy George? Yes, I did. I'm once again very tired tonight. Boy George, not George Michael. So Dave will come back and do his best impression of a Boy George song for us later in the night. So stick around for that. As Yusuf on the charge with Daniel Harris here. This is back in 8th place.
Yeah, so again, we don't know who's... we've got to look at those gaps in the wing, Luke. We've got to look for the gaps in the wing.
They're so little, though.
Who's activating it? It's so tiny, so hard to see. I wish iRacing would make it a bit more obvious. It would be lovely to be able to sort of look, and that's trouble. Oh, and there's more trouble.
Yeah, it's been an interesting one as far as sloppiness tonight, I've got to say.
Yep.
Not the hardest circuit to race on, I've got to say, this track, from someone who doesn't race a lot these days, but I don't know, a lot of cars just spinning around by the looks of it.
I'm just going to look at the track temperature. The track temperature at the moment is, where are we? Track is...
34.
God, I can't even... Oh, thank you. I can't find it. So that's fairly hot. It's a fairly hot track, so that may be contributing with a bit of overheating in the tyres, and a loss of grip. So we'll see.
No safety car.
Might be a bit of a contributor.
Yeah, no safety car because
got themselves going again. But they've still got 36 minutes to go here, Luke, and they've still got a pit stop to complete. No, I haven't. Has anybody taken a pit stop? What have we got there?
No, not yet. Well, actually, they have. A couple have down the order. Steve Jansen, but that was...
Rob Bowden's had one as well.
Lap 3, Bowden on lap 1. I'm not sure he'll get home from there.
Hines had 3. Poor Caleb.
Yeah, it's not the best thing. Hey, look at Jamin Woods. He's dropped done by 1.5 seconds. He just puts the pedal to the metal and he's out of there, as we see. Once again, Yusuf and Harris having a good old ding-dong. We'll jump on board here with Yusuf.
More than a lap, I think, now.
And that lets Phil Vella too on the inside. Wow, Vella! How about Vella going threading the needle?
Diving down the inside of Harris there, trying to get on the inside, and at the same time, it hadn't quite cleared Yusuf, so it was a bit. That was a bit scary.
Worth a look from the outboard. There he goes, bang!
Oh, look at that! So he's certainly got a bit of aggression on board tonight, has Phil Vella.
As we see, Mazzocca up now into 11th. Sam Mort behind him, and Ben Holko, who's been on the charge. 22 spots now up into the P13, and Paul Rogers about to steal one away from him. I think he's very close behind. Under brakes doesn't get the job done. The number 10 car sits currently in 14th. He's up 19 spots as well. So beautiful drive, beautiful colour. If I could go and get my Dulux colour samples out, I reckon I'd take that one down and look good on the wall of the house.
Well, Paul Rogers is Wayne Burke's teammate, so both got the same livery, and Wayne Burke picked up the win last week. But Wayne's dropped back a bit. He's back to 6th place tonight, so he's dropped a couple of spots. He started off of 3rd in this race, and he dropped 3 spots down to 6th. But, he certainly got the pit stop strategy right last week. We'll see when he decides to take a stop tonight and see whether he can set the trend, and who's going to be the first one in the pits. Somebody's got to start this pit stop madness, and I would think that's going to happen not too far away now.
Yeah, like we said before, Jansen and Bowden have both stopped. They're in 16th, 17th, as you can see from the graphic on the screen now. 19th place Hides has had 3 pit stops. We'll put the ticker up for a few people that are asking where their favourite drivers are down the back of the order. We'll get that up on the screen for you just so you can see where they're at. And like I said, if you want a bit of an update here and there, let us know who you're here to see, and we'll try and give you a bit of vision of your favourite drivers. But I was just flicking through, watching for battles. Will Ryan has been in the thick of things tonight as he just locks a brake, snatches a brake and goes deep into one and just avoids the sausage curb there. And then
You'll
drops.
probably get a slowdown from that as well. So unlike F1 that we actually, in iRacing, they activated immediately. So you'll get a slowdown and it'll probably have to give back a second worth of time, which, in real terms, giving back a second, you never get just a second. It usually costs you the best part of 2. So,
Yep.
And the sooner you serve it, the shorter it is.
And the gap's just come back down as well at the front here. We're on board with Damon Woods. You just see over his shoulder, if we look from the back of the car, Julian Dunn now back within a tenth of, within a second, now 7/10 of a second. So we'll just have a quick look at the lap chart for these 2 drivers in particular, and you can see the last 2 laps he took almost a third of a second out of him,
3/10
both laps.
of a second each time. Yeah.
Great job. So, and actually fastest lap of the race went to Julian Dunn on the last lap with 1:17.
Also, these guys, when they run outside of track limits, they get what's called an incident point. So it's quite strategic use. They get 17 incident points during the course of the race. So what you'll see is they drive very carefully, don't make any mistakes, don't get out wide, don't go offline, and bank the points, build up the points. Once they've got halfway and they go, okay, now I want to attack the guy in front, they can use those incident points and run wide and take an incident point and use it strategically to give themselves pace on the track. And I think that's what Julian Dunn may be doing right now.
Yeah, we got a full course caution again. So safety car.
Where's that come from? Oh, there we go. There it is right there.
So a couple of cars stuck up against the barrier. Look at, I think, is it James?
So,
Well, he's back in the pits, so
I think we might see some people dive in the pits here on this caution.
it's Miguel who's one of them, and is Drew Collins there as well? No, just Miguel. So there is another car there. They've been given permission to get out of there back to the pits, and should be a short safety car period.
I'm seeing the safety car, but I'm seeing the cars going awfully quick.
In the
Now,
pits.
Julian Dunn dived into the pits. That's what I said. I expected somebody to dive in the pits. I think Damon Woods. Damon, I think you've made a mistake here, mate. I think you should have been in that pit lane. But, it's always hard to do as a leader. But, they're going to get a pit stop under safety car. Damon's got to pick up the safety car here, and then he'll slow right down. And I think he's...
They're taking tyres too.
Penalised himself.
They're all taking tyres. They're up in the air.
That's interesting. So I'm thinking there they've taken tyres because they think they can warm them back up under the safety car. But they're a long way back in the field now. So I'm looking at Julian there. Where has he come out? He's come back out in 10th place. That's a long way back in the queue.
Yeah, but if he can get a good restart, he's got some quick cars around him. He's got Will Ryan and Holko in front now. Will Ryan's been a bit up and down tonight. Holko's been on the charge. Rogers is the next one up in 7th. How many of them will peel off at the end of this lap, though, whilst under safety car?
I don't know. None of them have made a pit. No one in front of Julian Dunn has made a pit stop yet.
Well, just for Sher's pleasure, we can see the pit stop strategy graphic on the screen now. Next lap around, it will show some blue when we see who has pitted and who hasn't. What's that car doing there? Just waiting.
Well, he was told to hold position and he actually went to unlap himself. So there's a bit of confusion and he stopped on the road and then race control said, mate, now you're passed. You might as well keep going.
Okay.
So here's more of the lap drivers unlapping themselves because they get a wave by under yellows, so they get back onto the lead lap, which keeps them in the race and keeps them with an opportunity to regain some positions rather than driving around a lap down and basically being nothing but a mobile chicane.
Yep. Now the field under safety car like it is now, still 7 seconds between your race leader and Julian Dunn, who has stopped in P10.
This comes down a lot to the speed of the safety car, because if the safety car is very slow, you can actually traverse pit lane at a higher speed than the safety car, so there's a bit of an advantage there. But you've got to make a pit stop. We'll see now very, very shortly whether Damon Woods decides to dive into that pit lane or not.
Will he hedge his bets on another safety car? I mean, there's 29 minutes to go. You're probably guaranteed at least one more.
Yeah, and one more, and could you get through to the end without a pit stop? Because you don't have to stop. You just not normally got enough petrol in the tank to make the full race at race speed. But if you do enough laps under the safety car, then you can save enough fuel. He'll be clutching, he'll be saving fuel every way he can. But you could very well get to the end of the race without a pit stop.
In the past,
safety cars.
Yeah, and in the past you've spoken about not taking tyres because they take a long time to warm up. Is this the case that Julian Dunn goes, right, I've got plenty of time left in the race, they will come, they will switch on, and then I'll be quick enough to overtake these cars in front?
Well, he's obviously not concerned with heating those tyres, because he's not weaving left to right or... not that I always weave left to right. I find that running the brakes with my left foot while accelerating generates enough heat, and in the real world it does as well, generates heat into the wheel, which then heats the tyre.
Yep.
So, but I'm surprised he's not weaving a bit more if he has taken tyres, and we did see the car go up in the air, so that says to me he took tyres. So there's a question, if he makes it onto the podium, that we can ask.
So, safety car ending soon? Surely into this lap.
Now, this round two at the Red Bull Ring, it's sort of strategically done at the Red Bull Ring because the F1 were there on the weekend, and it's sort of cool these guys get to watch F1 on the weekend and then go racing here on Monday, and they're doing it again next weekend because next weekend is Silverstone British Grand Prix, and these guys are at Silverstone next Tuesday, so we're going to have S5000 again next week at Silverstone on the full Grand Prix circuit, which I can't wait to see because I think that will be an awesome challenge for these boys.
Yeah, that'll be fast as well. It'll be good. I love that track.
Only trouble is you got to talk again next week, that means, Luke.
It feels like every week. I think you guys have stitched me up. There are other series running as well, aren't there?
Yes, there are.
Here we go, back to green.
We've just got an S5000 double header. Now, what's interesting here, Damon Woods has got the lead. Tim Delisle? Oh, no, it's Greg Olsen behind him, same livery as Tim, and Wayne Burke.
Someone's gone backwards. Someone's gone backwards there. It was Buttrell. So is Bradford going backwards.
Bradford going backwards. Oh, and he's laid a big cloud of dirt. And we've got trouble up at turn one. Turn one. I can see somebody flying through the air backwards. That is...
Sam Badai, the drop bear car. So in all of that, I saw Julian Dunn. He made up a few spots, then he lost a couple. He's back in 10th. Rob Bowden is in front of him. And he is, yeah. So Rob Bowden's actually got ahead of Julian Dunn. And Rob has pitted as well. So the field spread, keep an eye on that. It's only 5 seconds between the leader and Bowden. And he has stopped. He could win this race tonight.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be a turn up for the books? I mean, Rob's a great competitor, and he runs in a number of our series, and he's always there, fighting to the end. He's really is a never say die, never gives up, and it's good to see him doing it again tonight and reaping the benefit of doing so.
For sure, Rogers, Hides, and Edmonds in a good little scrap here. We'll jump on board with Daniel Edmonds as he gets a 2-for-1 deal. He's going to look to the inside and have a crack.
That's bold. 3 wide into turn 9 is bold.
Daniel Edmonds, what a move. What a move.
That's my move of the night, that one.
Yeah.
That was a brilliant piece of driving. Absolutely fabulous.
So it's interesting. You find these moves right down the field in this series. There's little bits of gold everywhere as Damien Cairns trying to find his way back. Remember, he was facing the wrong way earlier in the Grand Prix, so he's now got himself, back into the action, back into 18th place. We'll see a replay down the bottom of that overtake. Great job.
That was beautiful. caught them napping down the inside. Beautiful drive. And I've got to give credit to whoever that was on the outside in the blue car, which I think it's not Wayne Burke, it's his teammate. Very, very good. Gave him the room, realised what was going on, didn't turn in on him, and they all safely got through it. 3 wide into turn 9, got through safely, and that's a credit to every single one of those drivers.
Yeah, Bowden P8 now, so he's on the charge. He's still within 7 seconds of the race lead. Remember, your race leader has not stopped. So your pit strategy board coming up on the right-hand side now. You can see Bowden stopped on lap 1 though, Dave. Did he stop too early in this race?
Well, it all depends on safety cars. You know, he might be able to get this through. And the other thing is, this is an open setup, so you'll see different top speeds. And I was noting that I dropped into practice last night, and I was noticing the difference in the top speeds of about 10, 12 kilometres an hour between different cars. So some guys are running a lot less wing than the others. The guys who are going really quick were running a bit more wing because it gives them speed through all these twists and turns, and particularly the high speed corners, which is turn 4, turn 5, turn 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. But the guys running a less wing were a little faster in a straight line, so the less wing should give them less fuel consumption as well. So I don't know where Rob Bowden's got his car set up, but there's quite a difference, and that's one of the joys of this series, is that it is an open setup, as it must be, because it's a national championship. So one of the things that Motorsport Australia really like to see is that car setup comes into it as well as driving, so it's you get the full gamut of skills that you need to pull off to win this series. There's a big difference between the setup of the cars and the top speeds of the cars.
Sam Catakazinas in the house. Hello, mate. And a big shout out to anyone watching on Motorsport Australia tonight on their social channels. I think we are beaming live into a few living rooms via their channels, which is fantastic. So welcome aboard. This is Racestars TV. You've got myself tonight, Luke, and of course Mr. Roberts in the house.
Mr. Roberts, that's my father.
Oh, sorry, David Roberts. I was trying to sound a little bit more profound in the way I said your name. Battle here as well. Look at this. Hyde's up 15 spots. Where's Caleb been? He was, I think, backwards and upside down in race 1. He's fought back now into the top 14.
Yeah, and he's got Harris there right on his tail, hasn't he? In my favourite livery. I don't know why I like that so much. It just really stands out. That is a move and a half. That was brilliant piece of driving by Harris there. It hasn't come off in the end, but wow, the way he shortcut that corner and just dived for the apex and a late break. Unfortunately, lost the speed on the exit, and it is about exit speed as well as entry.
What's happened to Tim Delisle tonight as well? Because he's way back in 17th place.
Did we miss something there? I think we must have missed something. Is there a marker and an issue back there for Tim somewhere?
I've got nothing. He went back into the pits. So he left the pits lap 13 and went back to the pits again, I think. Oh, no.
I've only got one pit stop from him. He's
I'm not sure. He's lost a lot of position.
Whether he just had a really slow pit stop or something, I'm not sure. That's disappointing, because poor Tim, I fully got the short straw early on and, deserved a bit of a break.
Just going to see if he was involved in something here.
No, he looks like he escaped that. Oh, no. No, he's escaped that.
Got away with that, but lost a heap of positions in that instance. So, he just hasn't shone in this second part of the race. This guy has, though. 2 seconds out in front, Damon Woods.
He is just driving away from them. He's giving them an absolute driving lesson out here tonight, isn't he?
Well, Rob Bowden, still P7, 10 seconds off the lead, has stopped. But really, they've both, Damon hasn't stopped at all, of course, but Rob stopped on lap 1, so it's pretty even, Stephen.
I'm wondering whether maybe Julian Dunn picked up a little bit of damage in that restart there back in the pack, because he just doesn't seem to have the pace he had earlier on. He's back in 9th place. He's dropped a spot to Rob Bowden. He's just dropped another to Will Ryan by the looks of it. He's back in 9th place, and he's just, whether he's got a little bit of damage on board or something, but he just doesn't seem to have the pace that he had early on.
Someone who's got pace, and just pointed out then by Shane Morgan, is Ben Holko. He's up 29 spots now in the top 6. What a drive.
6.
Yeah, what a drive.
I love this car. It's a bright lime green. It's a bit, fluoro, bit lurid, but he's certainly, and it's no chance racing.
Lime
Mate,
green?
You've got plenty of chances tonight.
Lime green, I'm calling that canary yellow blue. Bill?
Yeah, it depends. When I take photos after the race, it's really quite the fluoro greeny yellow. So,
Yeah, right.
but it looks good. It looks great, and the big Holco on the side. It's sort of my Holkoberg, we'll call him.
Coffee Services Australia. He's got his, obviously, some sponsors on the car. It's good to see. And doing what a drive tonight up into 6th place. Yusuf not too far up the road, so he might be thinking, okay, I can get a top 5 here.
I think he's very much on for a top 5. Mind you, he's probably going to drop a couple to Bowden and Dunn when he takes pit stop. So, Rob Bowden's the one who's, if he can eat that fuel out and get himself to the finish, mate, he's had a fantastic drive tonight.
Andrew Dyson says, off to Specsavers for you, Dave. That's definitely not lime green.
I think I need to recalibrate my screen, maybe. That looks green in certain lights, anyway.
Julian Dunn can't get past Will Ryan here. He's been trying without any luck over the last few laps, as we see Steve Jansen. Yeah, jump on the throttle there really well. He squared off the corner and then jumped on the throttle. He's actually got back alongside Edmonds here, and he might have a shot down the inside. But
he isn't using a push to pass. No. I can see that gap. So, it's the DRS push to pass. I love this. I love the fact they only get 8 uses, Luke, and they can't just use it at will.
Yeah.
It's 8 uses, so there's a strategic element to using it. So I think it's so much better than what F1 have, where you end up with a DRS train.
Yeah.
So let's go on board with somebody for a lap here. Can we jump in on board with maybe Damon Woods out in the lead? Let's see what his lap is on. Maybe I can talk you through a little bit of it.
All right, give me a sec. I'll set that up for you. We'll wait till we get to
someone in the start-finish line.
Start-finish. We'll see just as Bailey Evans and Wayne Burke here are still fighting. But yeah, next lap round, let's jump on board with your race leader. And Dave, give us a turn-by-turn or a straight-by-straight at this place. A description on how to get around this joint quickly.
Try and give you a little bit of an insight into what Damon's up to and the way he's driving the car.
Sam saying 8th to 11th looks like a close strap, and it has been. These guys are fighting, and once again, I point out the fact that Julian Dunn just can't get past Will Ryan. Is Julian, after that early pit stop, trying to just save some fuel, knowing that if he gets to the end of this race and has a little bit left in the tank, he can take the fight to Damon Woods. He's now 17 seconds, though, spread out from the race leader.
So here's the race leader coming onto the main straight, and we're on board now. So he's in 5th gear, so popping up to 6th, and he wide out over the outside. We saw Max doing that on the Grand Prix, and mind you, don't overstep that yellow curb on the left-hand side. Run down here if you can. Get a tow. He's obviously got no one in front of him. Again, wide out over the curb, swing it in and try and get it really straight before you stamp on it, because if you haven't got the car straight, you're likely to loop it around in the circle. So 4th, 5th, probably grab 6th here. Yes, grab 6th. Brake under the bridge and float her in here. This is a lot tighter than it seems. Run it right out wide over the curb. Try and carry lots of mid-corner speed there. Blind apex here. You turn in, can't see where you're going. Float it through there, and mind you don't get wide onto that dirt, but use everything else. Again, super fast through here. Left, right. Mind you don't go a little bit too wide, because you can pick up a penalty there. And here, float this in early. Down 1, maybe 2. 4th gear, so run it wide. Down, so he's running 4th gear through that. That's super quick. And that's a lap with Damon Woods, and that's what he's doing, and he's doing it every time.
Doesn't take long to get around a lap too, does it?
No, it's very quick around here. The Redbull ring's quite a fast little lap. So here we see Julian Dunn's actually got past Will Ryan now. So he's managed to pull that, but Will Ryan's not giving up. He's back on the. I think he seems to have more straight line speed. So I think Julian's suffering with a bit of damage, which is holding his straight line speed down.
Will Ryan has got a slow down, did he?
Either slow down or he's made a little bit of a mistake on the way out. You can easily get the car a bit sideways out there and you lose your pace all the way down that hill. So he's dropped 4 spots there in a matter of seconds.
Something I want to point out. Remember, probably about 6, 7, maybe 8 laps ago, Julian Dunn was fighting with Rob Bowden or on his tail. Look at the gap now. It's 7 seconds between Rob Bowden in P6 and Julian Dunn P7. He's lost 7 seconds in that scrap.
I'm pretty sure he's carrying some sort of damage, and he seems to be down on straight line speeds as part of that. So what this has done is it's let Damon Woods off the hook for the pit stops. So I don't know what the Travis
Bowden.
time. Oh,
I've put the mockers on him, haven't I?
Rob, you did it again. It's always you, Luke.
Oh dear, what a drive he was having.
It's not calling you Voldemort.
And did he do that by himself? He was in the slipstream of the car
Looks
in front.
like it.
You're going to see the back end go around.
Aero wash. So you can get a bit of aero wash off the car. Yeah, he's just lost it on the way in. Just lost the rear of the car.
He swung out and then went to turn back to the left, and that turned him round by the looks of things. As we see Delisle showing, having a look at Daniel Harris, but not going through.
So Tim's up to 13. So he was back in 17. So he's struggling to get back through the field as well.
Maybe they put the low octane fuel in at the pit stops.
Don't know, but Damon Woods is doing a beautiful job. Mind you, I've still got him on cockpit on my other monitor, and I look over occasionally. There's a lot of opposite lock happening, and he's certainly driving the wheels off it. He's not backing off 1 millimetre. He is giving this everything he can to try and get enough gap to get that pit stop in. That's what he'll take that pit stop at the last moment that he can, and he's going to use everything he's got with the low tank of fuel to try and get the fastest laps he possibly can to eke out as much gap as he can to cover that pit stop that he needs to make.
Yeah, and Bailey Evans is in trouble here because taking no chances in the no chance racing entry, Ben Holko Berger here about to, I think, be inside the top 3 because he is flying and now he's all over the back of Evans and looking.
Is that Evans in front of him or is that a lap car?
Oh, it could be a lap car. I've just done a Murray walk, haven't I?
I think you've done a Murray Walker, mate, because Bailey Evans has a simrigs.com livery, the red, black and white. So I think he's just passed, I don't know who it is. It's Wayne Burke's teammate, but I think he may have just.
Sorry about that, guys. There is Bailey Evans.
There you go. So Bailey is there in the red, black and white car.
Yeah. So he is battling though with Wayne Burke for P2. So Holko's what 6 seconds off the back of Evans. So I got all excited there over nothing. But
that's right.
But Wayne Burke here P2, trying to hold out Bailey Evans. And remember the top 3, I think it is, are yet to stop. Let's have a quick look at the pit stop count up on your screen now. Well, the top 5 in fact. So
5 haven't stopped. So the first person to pit stop is Julian Dunn, and right behind him is Phil Vella, who is only about 0.2 of a second off the back of Julian Dunn. That might be worth a look if we can talk to the director. There we go.
Director is listening. So we'll jump on board with Phil. We'll ride alongside his helmet here for a while.
Yeah, this is a nice view. So we're on board with Phil Vella and we're on the back of Julian Dunn, seeking 6th place. So we'll see if he's got this lack of top speed. See, he's gaining a little bit, but I would expect him to in the toe. And Julian covering down the inside. And
Vella was out of the throttle then as well. He was saving some fuel.
Yeah. So, but Vella's certainly stopped. So I don't know when he stopped, but he certainly stopped.
Got a car off the
that's
track
somebody.
there. Olsen.
It's a strange place to be going off.
You can see the smoke cloud in the background there, and Greg Olsen. As you said, let's see how he did that, because that's halfway down the straight, isn't it?
He's had an incident with Daniel Harris. So he's pulled across. He's touched. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh, hang on to it, Daniel. Riding a wild bull there, mate. Oh, he's I bet he's got to sweat up after that.
So we'll have a look at Harris. Here it is. Up.
I don't know what went on there because I think they both strayed a bit into each other. Hang on to it, boy. Wild ride.
Bit of crossover arms there.
Yep. So he's got damage, and he said, I've just heard Daniel on comm saying he's pitting in with a bit of damage. So
now Brant's just pointed out there last lap, saw Julian just dive back into the 117th. So do you think maybe he's just been saving fuel? We're inside the last 10 minutes of the race now. Has he just been trying to hold out? He's running obviously to some sort of fuel calculator that gives him a live prediction of if he can make it to the end or not.
I'm seeing him 24 seconds off the lead car. So can Damon Woods get in and out in 24 seconds? He doesn't have to take much fuel. It's only a few minutes to go, so he'll do a splash and a dash. And this is going to be very, very interesting. They've played very different strategies, the two guys have, and be very interested to see what comes out in the end. And similar areas, Bailey Evans, and last week's winner, Mr. Burke, in 4th place. So they've both got to take pit stops as well. So interesting to see. Somebody's going to make a move soon.
Yeah, well, Mazzocca's into the pits. He's gone in for his service. There is Dunn now with Fulvella just behind him. Julian took tyres, so 13 laps fresher is another word I'm getting from Brant there on the chat. So that's something to remember for this last 8 minutes. He can push now. What was his last lap time just going through then? It was another 117.
Brant's doing a pretty good job. We might have to invite him into the commentator's booth, Luke.
We should. Get him to say good day. So Woods just pushing the track limits. I just saw it flash up red, which means he has activated an off track at some point.
He's probably strategically using those off tracks for a little bit of extra pace to try and get that little bit of extra time to get that pit stop in.
So the gap to Dunn, 25 seconds. Can you transit the pit lane?
By one of the tanked SRT guys in front, just pulling right over, out of the way, not to interfere with Damon's race. He's coming up on it's got Daniel Edmonds there in front, Daniel Harris in front. So what have we got left? How long we got to go? 6 minutes.
7 minutes. So 6 minutes 54. Will Ryan's in the pits.
What, a minute 20 a lap. Yeah, looking about 6 or 7 laps tops.
So the top 5 didn't stop. Obviously, Woods, Evans, Burke, Holko, and Yusuf are trying to no stop this race.
And Dunn and Vella have stopped at exactly the same time and are nose to tail.
Jacob Mabry's just had a huge off there. I'm at that point now. We're just outside the 5 minutes. Remember, we had a bit of an incident in the first race where they called a safety car inside the 5 minutes. That won't happen again. As Julian Dunn now, he's just been overtaken by Vella again. So Dunn struggling. Vella goes through, back up into P6.
But, if these front 5 guys can't get their pit done quick enough, Phil Vella's looking at a win here.
Yep. Well, it's 26 seconds now, so Woods has pulled out a second and a half on this lap alone over Phil Vella and Julian Dunn, the two races that have stopped, effectively fighting for the lead.
I honestly believe Damon can get in and out with a splash and dash, in and out of the pits, and stay in the lead.
Yep.
But there's no guarantees. And look at Vella pulling away there from Julian Dunn.
Try and get some close-ups of Dunn's car. Can we see any visual damage on this car?
Is there a little bend in the rear wing there, is there? No. I can't see anything. The front wing looks fine. The rear wing looks fine. I don't see anything, but he certainly doesn't seem to have the pace. What?
Yeah, it all looks good. So we're inside that 5 minutes now, so there won't be any more safety cars. I can guarantee you that.
Damon Woods has gone off. In the lead, he's gone off.
He has.
9.
Now this is huge.
pointing it around, because what is not about damaging the car, it's about the time he's lost. He's going straight into the pits,
Yeah.
and he's going to make his pit stop.
Now,
That's a big mistake from Damon Woods.
Evans continues on. We'll get a look at that Woods incident in a second. Burke goes up into P2. Holko's going to be on the podium here. And we've got 4.5 minutes to go. Let's have a look at the Woods incident. Was he just pushing too hard? Vella's in the pits. Vella's in the pits. Here's a replay of Damon Woods.
Oh.
Gets out on the white line.
Why is Vella in the pits?
Oh, he had a big swapper. Tank slapper. Went back the other way.
Yeah, I know. I had the onboard on my second monitor, and I looked, and suddenly we were going backwards, and I could see he just lost it on the entry. So where's he come back out onto the road?
In front of Julian Dunn. Can you believe it?
So he's still in the lead.
Effectively.
After that spin, wow.
Effectively in the lead.
Mind you, look, effectively in the lead by 2 car lengths.
And can Bailey Evans, Burke or Holko or Youssef go on and do this without stopping?
Well, yeah, the opportunity is there. The door is open for Evans and Burke. And Holko. Holko's 9 seconds back, so it's not really. But Evans and Burke are half a second apart. Can they get that pit stop done? Because we don't know how long that pit stop took because of the fact that Damon Woods made that mistake on the way in. So Evans is into the pits now.
Burke continues.
Can he do a stop, a splash and dash, and get back out in front of Damon Woods? That's the big question right now. So where's Damon Woods on the road? He's coming through turn 9. He's coming through the last corner, turn 10 now. No, Damon Woods is going to take this lead. He's going to take the lead back. He's up past the pit, going past the pits. He's straight past Bailey Evans now, back into the lead, and Damon Woods has still got the lead of this race.
So 3 minutes to go, or under 3 minutes to go.
The effective lead of this race.
Yeah, Burke and Youssef obviously yet to stop here.
So it looks like Bailey Evans has come back out in about 6th place, just in front of Tim Delisle.
And Wayne Burke, 2 weeks in a row?
It all depends on whether he can get it there.
Yeah.
He has not stopped, so it's unlikely that he's going to get it to the finish. Mind you, it's 2 minutes 24. He'll be doing everything he can. He'll be cruising around in 6th gear with the clutch in.
Bowden back into 8th as well. Good recovery. We've seen him off the track tonight. Caleb Hyde's up 20 spots into 9th. And Holko, after that stop, actually came out P10, up 25 positions. So decent effort. Was on for a podium at one stage. That's not going to happen now. Burke's in the pits.
Okay, so Burke's in the pits. Very, very quick stop because he's going to take splash, dash, and straight out again. But Damon Woods is already coming onto the main straight, so, he's got that lead well in his pocket.
Yeah, and Youssef's going to get overtaken here, even if he doesn't stop, because Woods is now all over the back of Andre. And should be game done. Now, where's Daniel Edmonds in all this? Has he made his pit stop?
I'm not sure, but I think
he has.
I think Bailey Evans and Wayne Burke were banking on another safety car. They needed another safety car, and they might have made it to the finish. So, unfortunately, the cars haven't fallen their way, but they gave it a good shot. They certainly made the race interesting for us.
Yeah, and if Andre Youssef has to pit here, this will put Daniel Edmonds up into 2nd and Julian Dunn back on the podium. So this is a good little battle here. This is effectively for P2 as Dunn slots it down the inside. Do they make contact there? That was super close.
And it's not over yet because Daniel Edmonds has the inside up into can he run around the outside? We saw this in F1 last night. It's pretty wild around the outside. And Edmonds is not giving up. He's down the inside and he's got it back. He's got that back. He's not going to give that up without a fight. He fought hard to get it, and you're not taking it off me, he's saying. Great to see that sort of challenge and that sort of absolute determination to retain that position. So a bit of smoke there on the entry of the pit lane. I think somebody's done a very, very late lock-up on the way in.
So white flag's waving, so we're on the final lap of the race.
We're on the final lap. Come on, Daniel, you can do this. And Youssef is still out there, and he has not stopped.
Yep. But he's in all sorts of trouble because surely he's going to be out of fuel by the end of this lap. There is the battle with Edmonds just behind him. They're flat out. I'm trying to look at the lap time. It was a 1:19.3 last time around for Youssef. 2 seconds slower than your race leader. Can he hang on here for a podium?
can he? He's running on the smell of an oily rag here, Luke. Can he get it all the way to the finish without a pit stop? There's a brilliant piece of driving he can, and he would have had to strategically do that right from the start, be on a fuel-saving run from day dot. So from lap 1, he's got to have done that. If he gets to the finish, he gets my round of applause. What a brilliant piece of driving to save that much
Dunn's
fuel.
gone. He's off the track.
Oh,
And
no.
it's curtains for Dunn, but here comes your race leader to be your race winner, Damon Woods. Once again, exceptional. He's going to take the win and do it in style here. And check out in the background as he takes the checker flag. Andre Yusuf gets P2. Incredible drive. Edmonds on the podium, P3.
Fantastic.
Edges out Burke for a podium. So it's Woods, Yusuf and Edmonds, your top 3.
These guys have just shown that speed isn't everything. You know, in this class, it takes consistency, it takes strategic thinking, it takes driving ability to be able to drive fast laps without using fuel, as Andre has done. That's just amazing. And, you know, it just shows everybody out here has a chance of winning. They've just got to be smart.
Only 1.7 seconds in it. He did 35 laps on that tank of fuel. A couple of safety cars helped him along the way, but that's an incredible job.
That's fabulous. My absolute drive of the day to Andre Yusuf from me.
And, wow, some other people there. Ben Holko up 27 spots into the top 8. Nick Bradford got inside the top 10, up 14 positions. And Caleb Hides, we haven't spoken much about Caleb tonight, but that's a great recovery. P7 up 22 spots. Incredible job by him as well. So good job to all the competitors tonight.
Can our director maybe find a replay of what happened to Julian Dunn on that last lap when he went into the... I want to know whether he had a coming together with...
Here he is, down the hill underneath our camera, and a car got up the inside.
The touch from Wayne Burke.
Yeah, there might be a post-race penalty there for Burke.
Ooh, yeah, I think it's looking a bit dodgy on that podium now, and Bailey Evans...
Yeah, well, Burke's off the podium, so he's P4. It's not going to make a difference, but he may drop back a few positions.
Bailey Evans up to 4, yes. I thought Wayne Burke was on the podium there. My mistake.
No, Bailey Evans came home 5th, so
yep.
Wayne Burke 4th. But yeah, it's Woods, Yusuf and Edmonds.
Bailey Evans may very well pick up a little penalty there for that little 5-second penalty. If so, that would promote Bailey Evans up to 4th place.
Correct,
so,
correct. So top 4 for him. So that...
what a drive from Damon Woods tonight. Just so fast. So fast. He managed to drive 2 or 3 times. He drove away from some of the best drivers in the country.
Oh, for sure. What a great race. And action aplenty, as we saw in both races tonight. Here are your results from the feature race. And once again, big thanks to Racecraft and FRG, powered by FRG. We'll have to change that to driven by FRG. Love the new branding and get that up onto the graphics. But there's your race winner for tonight's event of the feature, and it was a great, well-deserved win for Damon Woods, winning by 1.7 seconds over Andre Yusuf, who did the no-stop strategy for P2, and Daniel Edmonds rounding out your top 3. We'll get him in for a chat. Let's start. Do you want to interview Mr. Woods here, Mr. Roberts?
Yeah.
Sure can. Damon.
Yes.
Mate, what were you playing at there in turn 9? You nearly threw the whole race away. What were you up to?
I didn't expect the car to snap so easily. I think I didn't anticipate the lack of grip from being on the tyres for 30 plus laps. So yeah, that was far from ideal, but we were able to manage the spin and win. So, you know.
Yeah, you gave us all a big fright there. So that was just really degradation of the tyres over the 30 laps. We did see that when Julian went in about halfway, that they did make a pit stop and take tyres, which is unusual to see. So obviously you did a long time on that, but the guy in second place, just 1.7 seconds behind you at the finish, never actually pitted at all. Was that an option for you?
I didn't even think about it when that first safety car came out, but I saw that there was not going to be enough room in the tank to fill what I needed, so I was kind of hoping that there wouldn't be another safety car at the end, because then my strategy would have been completely ruined. But I think maybe got a little lucky there, especially with the spin as well. But yeah, no, we'll take that. That was probably a lucky win, but that's racing.
I don't think there's a lot of luck in that. I thought it was a beautiful drive, plenty of speed. Managed to drive away from the rest of the field a couple of times there. So well deserved and congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And P2, Andre, well done, mate. The no-stop strategy. Talk us through that choice tonight. Was that something you made up from the get-go to be able to save fuel throughout the race?
Thanks, mate. Yeah, usually I'm a half tank in these kind of races. I'll never go full tank just so I don't want a heavy car. But I don't know, I just put in the fuel calculator, I put in the full tank, and it seemed like it was a bit low of a refuel. I think it was 15 or 17 litres. And I was just thinking there's going to be safety cars. So yeah, from the get-go in the race, I started saving while everyone else was battling around me.
Well, it was a great drive. We're watching you throughout, the last couple of laps there in particular, just cheering you on, thinking, if you can do this, this is a mega drive from the get-go. So up 5 spots into P2. Congratulations.
Thanks, mate.
Daniel, P3, up 15 spots tonight. Great drive for Simrigs.
Yeah, it was good. Didn't do myself any favours in the sprint race, having a spin and falling to the back. So to be able to come through in the feature was really good. Something that I've not been able to do the first 2 rounds. So yeah, really happy with that.
Yeah, you guys turned it on tonight. Dave, any questions before we go to some thank yous?
No, I'm just really pleased to see effectively a new podium. It's proving that you guys are being smart with your driving, smart with your pit stops, the way you're running the strategy of the race, and it's not just about pure pace, because the guys at the front are really, really, really quick, but at the end of the race, you're right there. Nice to see.
Fantastic. Let's do some thank yous, starting with your race winner tonight, Damon Woods for Door Esports. Who would you like to thank?
I'd like to thank VRS, Recaro Seats, JBL, Tailored Rig, Arima Sportswear, SX Group, and I also like to massive shout out to Caleb Hides for updating me with the gaps throughout the entire race, so I knew if I was actually on the wrong strategy or not. But yeah, without him, I don't think I would have been able to be confident in my strategy.
He was doing that while he was racing, was he?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
What a legend. Well done.
He was in the group, so he had the best idea of where everyone was.
Great job. All right, well done tonight, Damon. And Andre, who would you like to thank? P2.
I'd like to thank my team, first of all, Pursuit Sim Racing, MRP, Man & Racing Products, Sideways Photography, and V&M Simulation.
Great drive tonight. We hope to see you on some more podiums, mate. Well done. And then finally, P3, who would you like to thank, Daniel, for your podium tonight?
First of all, thanks to everyone for putting on the event. It's always really fun to come out here and do these races. I'd just like to thank everyone at the team, DPR, Simrigs.com, Southwell Lifts and Hoists, Ben Max Mechanical, Phoenix Smokers, and MP Design.
Great job. So your top 3 tonight, Damon Woods, Andre Youssef, and Daniel Edmonds. Congratulations, podium. Righto, so Dave, that's it for tonight. Another S5000 broadcast. Big thanks to Motorsport Australia and, of course, Racecraft bringing you this, and powered or driven by FRG. Big thanks to Ty Ratcliffe, Lockie Capella, and, of course, our maestro, Rue Koistra, over there in race control. I'll tell you what, they'll have a lot to look through after tonight's race, of course, and then on to tomorrow in some reviews. But, interesting, great night of racing. Absolutely loved it. And we're doing it again next week.
Next week, it's S5000s are back again, so we've got a double header. And next week, we're at Silverstone Grand Prix circuit, right after the British Grand Prix. So that's interesting to see the comparison, and the boys get a bit of a feel of what they're up to by watching the Grand Prix on the weekend. But great racing tonight. I thought it was pretty clean. It was really, really good. Not too many issues at all. And fantastic effort by certainly by the podium.
Yeah, fantastic. Well, we'll wrap it up there. We'll finish for this evening. Damon Woods, once again, victorious, takes out the win. My name's Luke. I've had Dave with me tonight. Dave Roberts, of course. Fantastic job as always, and a big thanks to the team from FRG in the background. We'll be back to do it all again next week. We've got the Speed Cafe E-Series on Friday night as well, so tune into Race Stars TV for that one.
Lachlan Capel, our safety car driver, won the last round, so go and watch that. Watch how good he really is.
Hell yeah. Righto, mate. Take care, and we'll see you all again soon. Good night.
Ciao.